For weeks, the silence was deafening. The man who once had the world at his feet, who could charm a room with a single smile and light up a press conference with a witty remark, had vanished. No interviews, no social media posts, no explanations, just an endless void where one of golf's most talkative legends used to be. Allegations piled up. His reputation crumbled. His wife stood by him with extraordinary grace. And the golf world waited for the man who always had something to say to finally say something. Now he has. And what he revealed has stunned everyone. For months, Phil Mickelson vanished from the sport he once dominated. The man who had been a fixture at every major championship for 3 decades, who had won 6 of them, who had become the oldest major champion in history at the age of 50, was nowhere to be found. He missed the Masters. He skipped the PGA Championship. He was absent from the U.S. Open. And now, the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale is off the table too. The 2026 season will be remembered as the year Phil Mickelson vanished from the sport he once dominated. It marks the first time since 1990 that he has not played in at least one of the 4 majors. The only other time he missed the Open was in 2009, when he stepped away to support his wife Amy during her breast cancer treatments. Now, history was repeating itself in the most devastating way. His team cited a private family health matter for his extended absence. The details were vague, and the speculation was rampant. According to friends of the family, one of his children had been unwell. While the golf world debated his scandals, he was quietly dealing with a family crisis that no parent should ever have to face. His spokesperson confirmed, Mr. Mickelson's priority is to become the husband, father, and man his family deserves. Right now, that means giving his full attention to a private family health matter. But the silence couldn't last forever. And when the allegations exploded, Mickelson was forced to respond. The Skratch investigation by legendary golf writer Alan Shipnuck dropped like a nuclear bomb on the golf world. 19 sources painted a picture of a man who had been hiding in plain sight for decades. The report detailed allegations so serious that they shattered the carefully constructed image of one of golf's most beloved figures. The most explosive allegation came from Ashley Perez, the former wife of fellow LIV golf player Pat Perez. According to the report, during the 2015 Barclays tournament in New Jersey, Mickelson invited the couple to stay at his villa at Liberty National Golf Course. While Pat excused himself to use the restroom, leaving Ashley and Mickelson alone on the patio, she claims the 6-time major champion took out his phone and showed her a full-body picture of himself naked with an erection while flexing one bicep. Ashley told Shipnuck, Phil says to me, I'm going to leave my bedroom door open tonight. When Pat falls asleep, I want you to come see me. She declined his advances and didn't immediately tell her husband, saying she hadn't wanted to create a scene mid-tournament. When Perez was eventually told, he confronted Mickelson. In a 2022 podcast, Perez said, I have a different hate for Phil than most people. Phil crossed the line with me that is just uncrossable and unforgivable. The Skratch report also revealed that Mickelson had abruptly departed from 3 high-end golf clubs, the Madison Club, the Bridges, and the Farms, with sources at all 3 saying personal conduct was a primary factor. The most recent incident occurred at the Farms Golf Club in Rancho Santa Fe, California, where a female employee accused Mickelson of non-consensual and inappropriate physical contact. According to multiple sources, Mickelson approached the employee in the clubhouse, made non-consensual and inappropriate physical contact with her, and was confronted by club officials mid-round before being told to vacate the premises. His display of achievements in the clubhouse has since been removed. Another key account in Shipnuck's report detailed how Mickelson would reportedly give his phone to golf club employees and pay them $500 to drive around the course for 3 or 4 hours. This, apparently, was so when Mickelson's wife, Amy, was tracking him on his phone, it looked like he was playing golf rather than attending unspecified rendezvous. Ashley Perez explained why she chose to speak on the record. There is a culture of silence that keeps women from coming forward. I want to give other women the courage to share their truth. With Phil, I feel like the pattern has been there for many years, but people have been afraid to go public because it's Phil Mickelson. We give these golfers so much adulation and money. They think they're gods. They think they're untouchable. Then came the moment nobody expected. Amy Mickelson, Phil's wife of 35 years, broke her silence. In a rare public statement, she expressed her unwavering support for her husband. Throughout their 35-year relationship, his wife, Amy Mickelson, has supported Mr. Mickelson and their family with extraordinary grace, unwavering love, and the belief that people are measured not only by their failures, but by what they do to make them right. The statement also addressed the allegations directly. Some of the allegations circulating about Mr. Mickelson are false, and others revisit mistakes he has already acknowledged, publicly or privately. Stacking the disputed claims next to the ones he has owned does not make them credible. It instead contributes to a false and misleading narrative. The statement called false any suggestion that Amy Mickelson orchestrated her husband's departures from golf clubs. Mrs. Mickelson is not a public figure. She did not choose this spotlight, and there was no legitimate journalistic reason to drag her into it, the statement read. The public show of support is particularly striking given the nature of the allegations. Mickelson is accused of cheating on his wife with multiple women over many years, with elaborate schemes to hide his location from her. Yet Amy has chosen to stand by him, refusing to let the allegations define their marriage. Phil himself has acknowledged her support over the years. In an Instagram post in September 2023, he wrote, "I'm so grateful for her strength in helping us get through the many challenges I've created for us. Because of her love, support, and commitment, I'm back on track to being the person I want to be." When the allegations surfaced, the golf world expected Mickelson to stay silent, as he had for months. Instead, his camp launched a blistering counterattack that has stunned everyone. Mickelson's attorney, Tom Clare, released a lengthy statement calling the Skratch investigation an anonymously sourced drive-by shooting, heavy on implication but unsupported by any on-the-record sources. The statement accused Shipnuck of using implication to bolster his reporting and lambasted Skratch media more broadly for its historical links to the PGA Tour. The statement argued that Shipnuck prioritized a compelling clickbait narrative over an accurate one. It added, "Credibility is not earned by publishing the most provocative narrative. It is earned through transparency, verification, and a clear distinction between fact, inference, and speculation." But the most critical detail came in the response to the Ashley Perez allegation. The statement claimed Shipnuck repeats an allegation regarding a photograph while downplaying a critical fact contained in his own reporting. During a private call in which Mr. Mickelson reached out to apologize for his behavior, he immediately challenged the central premise of that allegation by asking, "You mean topless?" That distinction matters, the statement continued. Mr. Mickelson's willingness to apologize for his conduct should not be misconstrued as an admission of every allegation made against him. On the claims he had been forced out of golf clubs, the statement was unequivocal. Mr. Mickelson has never been expelled from a golf club. His membership has never been revoked by a golf club. Those decisions were his alone. The statement also accused Skratch of harboring a grudge against Mickelson over his defection to LIV Golf. According to the statement, Skratch was created by the PGA Tour, operated as a PGA Tour-owned media brand for nearly a decade, and in 2024 was contributed by the PGA Tour to Pro Shop, a new media company in which the PGA Tour retained a minority ownership stake and became a strategic partner. None of those relationships means Skratch cannot report independently, the statement said. They do, however, create a corporate relationship that reasonable readers may consider relevant when evaluating an extensive investigation into Phil Mickelson, one of the most consequential players ever to leave the PGA Tour for LIV Golf. Skratch editor-in-chief Ben Boscovich rejected Mickelson's claims and defended the investigation. It's bizarre that Tom Clare is now challenging our reporting through the New York Post rather than answering our questions directly, Boscovich said. He pointed out that they had sent Clare a detailed 17-question request for comment 3 days before publication, and that neither Mickelson nor his wife answered a single question. The story was vetted by 2 top entertainment lawyers and a fact-checker with decades of experience. Regarding Clare's assertion that Amy Mickelson is a private figure, Boscovich countered, "She is certainly a public figure. She is a driving force behind the well-known and widely promoted philanthropic initiative, the Amy and Phil Mickelson Charitable Foundation. Further, she has actively sought the spotlight in the world of golf, including numerous interviews with prominent publications throughout her husband's golf career." Boscovich also addressed the PGA Tour affiliation. Skratch's affiliation with the PGA has been well known in the sports world since 2024. The PGA Tour has no oversight over Skratch. To imply that Skratch's journalism is motivated by Pro Shop's relationship with the PGA Tour is unfounded and untrue. Boscovich concluded, 19 sources who have a deep knowledge of Mickelson and his behavior provided material for the story. The journalism was vetted by 2 top entertainment lawyers and a fact-checker with decades of experience. We gave Phil and Amy Mickelson and Tom Clare ample time to respond to every element of the story, and they chose not to challenge a single assertion. Skratch Golf stand by its reporting. The battle doesn't end with Mickelson and Skratch. Ashley Perez's attorney, Daniel Watkins, issued his own statement that sent shockwaves through the golf world. "We are disappointed that Mr. Mickelson continues to attack Ms. Perez rather than confront the overwhelming and undeniable evidence of his misconduct. Ms. Perez has been unwavering in telling the truth from the very beginning, and these baseless attacks only underscore his refusal to take responsibility. The evidence is clear, and it will speak loudly and decisively at the appropriate time," Watkins added. Ashley Perez had previously posted on Instagram, "I will rise up and stand next to the millions of women who have been silenced to protect the evil and darkness that lurks amongst us. Thank you dearly for the love and support. My heart goes out to the countless other victims." She explained why she chose to speak on the record. "There is a culture of silence that keeps women from coming forward. I want to give other women the courage to share their truth. With Phil, I feel like the pattern has been there for many years, but people have been afraid to go public because it's Phil Mickelson. We give these golfers so much adulation and money. They think they're gods. They think they're untouchable. The scandal has come at a devastating time for Mickelson's professional career. He has officially withdrawn from the Open Championship, marking the first time in 17 years he will miss golf's oldest major. He missed the Masters, skipped the PGA Championship, and was absent from the U.S. Open. The 2026 season will be remembered as the year Phil Mickelson vanished from a sport he once dominated. LIV Golf, the breakaway league he helped define, is facing its own existential crisis. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund is set to pull its financial backing after the 2026 season, and the league's future is uncertain. If LIV collapses, Mickelson faces a brutal reality with nowhere to play. Former ESPN host Trey Wingo put it bluntly, "That bridge has been burned, detonated, destroyed, nuked, lasered to death. There is no building that bridge back." Billy Horschel recently said that Lefty might not be back on the PGA Tour, no matter what. Despite his being a lifetime member and having done a lot, there are many things Mickelson did and said that have made his path back impossible. One of his former golf buddies told Skratch, "It's a very sad story. He should have been Arnold Palmer. Phil had the same charisma, the same star power. People loved him everywhere he went. My take is that he came to believe his own bullshit. He thought he was bulletproof because his whole life he had always skated on everything. But in the end, he had too many demons. He got consumed by his own darkness." Phil Mickelson is one of the greatest golfers who ever lived. 6 majors, 45 PGA Tour wins, a legacy that should have placed him alongside the legends of the game. Instead, he finds himself isolated, his reputation in ruins, and his future in professional golf uncertain. The questions now are impossible to ignore. Was the withdrawal his choice, or did the sport finally decide it had had enough? Can he ever rebuild his legacy, or is this the end of the road for one of golf's most polarizing figures? And what does it say about our sports heroes when we learn who they really are behind the smile and the charm? One thing is certain. The man who once had the world at his feet now has nowhere to go. And that's the most tragic story of all.